Good morning, movers. Welcome to today's mobility session. We're about to open up the hips, shoulders, and loosen the spine for about 10 to 12 minutes. If you're waking up stiff, stressed, or carrying yesterday in your body, this is for you. I suggest you grab a cup of coffee or tea, some water, and nourish yourself along the way. Get settled in. Throughout the flow, I'll offer options, different ranges, different shapes. I want you to play with it, explore what's possible, and what feels best for your body today. We're going to start out on the floor. We're going to be starting with a T-spine stretch. Starting with a simpler option, keep your knees up, feet flat, and the most important piece of this movement is to keep the shoulders flat on the floor. Use your knees as a windshield wiper and let them fall from side to side. Now for option B, same starting position, but as the legs fall, the trailing leg straightens and passes over the bottom leg to kick towards the opposite side hand. For example, right foot to left hand. On the last kick, let the momentum cause you to roll over. We'll transition to a variation of cat-cow. Cat-cow is one of those classic spine openers. It's a little two-dimensional in my opinion, so I like to make it a little bit more flavorful, trying to do something new like a cat-cow orbit. Well, at least that's what I call it. Imagine there's like a ball in the center of your chest and you're trying to orbit your spine in a circle around that ball in your chest. If that feels really good for you, then just start investigating what else feels good. There doesn't need to be any rhyme or reason. It could feel a little awkward and clunky. It could look weird, but a lot of the times what feels good does look weird, and what looks weird feels great. So I suggest you explore it a little bit. For the next exercise, we're going to get on our hands and our feet. We're going to lift our knees off the ground. It's called stoking the fire. We position ourselves with our shoulders over our wrists and our knees under our hips. Tuck the toes and energetically pull your hands and knees together. Obviously, we won't achieve that in reality, but in this intent, it causes us to contract our core. We're going to be here for a bit, 3 sets of 20 seconds or so. If you want a little bit more challenge, I suggest you go up to 45 seconds or a minute for each set. Take a sip of water or your tea or whatever you got and go again. Now we're going to transition into something a little bit more chill. Take a lunging position with your right leg forward. Shift your weight over the front foot, staying tall and letting the leg behind you lengthen into hip extension. Hold this for a bit. Then shift your hip back towards the leg behind you, attempting to bring the head to the front foot as you straighten the front leg's knee. If you can't travel your hips all the way back to your back foot, don't worry. Stop where you feel you can support yourself and still stretch the hamstring of the front leg. As an added stretch for those who feel ready, when you come forward into your front leg, you can pick up your back leg and pull your foot to your backside, increasing the stretch in the hip and the quad. Moving on, we're going to move to the archer step through. We're going to put 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and 1 hand down, kind of a tripod position. We're going to shift our weight to the front foot and hand and bring the back foot through the window we make with those 2 points. We extend our leg, point the toe, and counterbalance with our free hand like we are drawing back a bow. Then we reverse, bring our leg back under the body and behind us. If you'd like to try a different variation, you can practice the sliding version of this movement. Essentially, all the same positions, but you will place your knee on the ground under you and extend your leg out in front as you slide, bringing your weight to your hip on the ground and then reverse it, essentially. Your main 2 points of contact, the supporting hand and foot, should be bearing most of the weight throughout this entire exercise. On your last step through, we're going to shift into a tabletop pose. We are going to have our fingers pointed behind us, our knees bent to roughly 90 degrees. We squeeze the glutes to extend the hips. We pull the shoulders back behind us to create a flat table at the top. Hold the top for an extra beat or two, then collapse your hips back down without shifting your weight to the floor. Once you have completed 10 to 15 of those, you can stay in the bottom position and let your knees fall to the left or to the right. We're going to do 90-90 switches now. Now we're going to press our leading leg. Simultaneously, we're going to open the trailing leg, creating a wishbone stretch between the legs. This propels us to the other side, where we do the same thing again in the opposite legs. And we switch back and forth here between these positions about 10 to 20 times. An easier version of this is with hands assisting behind you to support your weight. I like to add a little rotation at the end of each switch to make things a little bit more flowy and rhythmic. And if you want to take it further, you can also try sitting up and extending your hips to come to a kneeling 90-90 position. Then with your hands, sit back down and switch to the other side. After the last rep, we'll move on to the shoulders. This exercise I like to call 4 corners because we're going to be using 4 points and moving between those 4 points. From the deep resting squat, we have 4 different locations we're going to try to move to. 2 in front, 2 behind. Reach and shift your weight into your arm. Try to get your knee to touch your hand. Now there is no specific pattern you have to repeat in this. You can vary the movements in any direction, in any order you want. After doing about 12 to 20 movements, come back to resting in the squat for the next one. Moving on, take your left hand and grab your right ankle. Pull your shoulders between your knees as you reach your right hand above you. You can add a slight twist in the top arm to increase the effect of the movement in the shoulder. This will be a lot of spinal rotation. Then from that position, place your right hand on the back of your head and make a target with your left hand on the ground. Now reach your right elbow to that target and repeat the whole process. Here, we're aiming to improve spinal rotation, spinal flexion, and hip mobility. Do this for about 3 to 5 reps per side or as long as it feels good. Next, we're going to just transition to the neck. Take a comfortable position. Reach your left hand across the top of your head and gently pull your left ear down to your left shoulder. Hold for about 30 seconds and then repeat on your right side. Next, doing some no-nos and some head circles. Slowly move your head from side to side, gently pushing into the end of your range on each side. Then transition into neck circles, 10 reps for both directions. That's the end of our flow today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this opened up your body and got your day started in the perfect, loose, fluid way. As you continue to do this stuff, you'll find that your body opens up, more becomes accessible, and we'll start to do things that are a little bit more challenging. Thanks again for being with me today.